Well, certainly a diagnosis of diabetes, in particular type 1 diabetes, can be difficult at any given time. But when that diagnosis happens during a pandemic, it becomes a greater challenge. I am joined by Taylor Efford, who is an actor living with type 1 diabetes. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here, Taylor. Take me back to your diagnosis, because I understand you were diagnosed with type 2 and then later on type 1. Walk me through that.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a complicated disease process, but essentially you need an endocrinologist to tell you you have type 1. And at that time, I just couldn't book an appointment. So I had been doing blood tests at walk-in clinics, and they were like, we're just going to have to help you out with type 2 right now. Like, that's all we can give you. And we're going to have to wait till you see this other guy, and he will get to the bottom of this and try to get you the right medicine eventually. They had a feeling it was type 1, but for the time being, all they could help me with was type 2.
And of course, you know, once you get that diagnosis, you have so many questions. Where did you turn to? Was there support available to you during the pandemic?
I'm very lucky to have a social media following. It was smaller at the time, but I just came out with it because I thought, hey, this is a great way to access as many people as I can for information about this. And, you know, the world is moving very online. You know, you can watch YouTube videos, things like that, because it was a very lonely process. And you can't even go see your support team. You know, you can't even just like go see your parents easily or go see your friends easily. Like, it was very isolating, trying to cope with this. And so I kind of just like started going on my Instagram stories, going on TikTok, you know, saying, this is what I have now. And the flood of responses, I got so much advice from actual type 1s, which was even cooler because that advice is like firsthand experience until I was able to get the proper doctor process. So.
Right. And, you know, as I said, there are many challenges to it. And I think the way that you've used humor, is that something that's always been a part of your life when you come across difficult times? Humor is a great way for you to deal with situations?
It definitely is. It definitely comes naturally to me. People seem to think it's amazing that I took this with a smile, but what I like to say is you really have two choices. Like, it's not that amazing. It's like, you know, let the wave wash over you or try to swim, you know, and I just happen to try with a smile. So you got one choice there.
Well, and you had one tool, and I understand you have a monitor of some sort that has really changed things, because this had a great impact not only on you physically but on you mentally, and this monitor has really, you know, changed your life. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so right away when I posted online, everyone was like, you need a Dexcom, like wait till you get your Dexcom G6. So it's a continuous glucose monitor, meaning I get readings from the little guy on my arm straight to my phone. And so that eliminates the finger pricking, which I'm not going to lie is the worst. Like,
really?
Having to prick your fingers several times a day to read your blood sugar is a little bit painful and a little bit heavy feeling. And then B, you know, not knowing your numbers at all times gave me a lot of stress because I'm an active person. Like, my job is active. Like, how can I not know my numbers? Am I going to pass out at work? Am I going to pass out walking the dog?
Right.
Like, it's dramatic. And so the Dexcom G6, like, changed my life because I know it's going to have a little alert from my phone. This alarm goes off and it's on top of that. So it just gave me some mental peace in that sense.
Taylor, what are you hoping to achieve by sharing your story?
Two things. Basically, you know, I'm trying to spread awareness because even when I was diagnosed, I had no idea how awful this disease could be. You know, we all had someone in our elementary class who like couldn't have the cupcakes on someone's birthday. But that's all I really knew about it. And it is so much more than that. And it's shocking to me and it's impressive to me that people have been living with type 1 or any form of diabetes, you know, living their daily lives with all this extra weight, all this extra pressure, all this extra illness. And so part 2 of that is just making sure we can afford the tools that lets the living be easier. And like the Dexcom is one of those things, insulin pumps, like I'm really lucky that the technology is where it's at now, but these things also need to be affordable because I think they're essential.
Yeah, and I think that's you know, something that, you know, the diabetes community and raising awareness for diabetes, they've been struggling with that for so long, trying to get either provincial or federal help when it comes to affordability. So I'm glad you raised awareness to bring that up. Taylor, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I want to encourage everybody, go check out, by the way, Taylor's Instagram page. It is fantastic. She uses a lot of humor. And, you know, she might throw in some makeup tips for you as well. That does it for us on today's Daytime. We'll see you next time.